Hello, friends. I'm going to start right off. I'm going to talk about hope in faith. Hope in faith. And the fact of that is that any belief system that is declaring our experience, how it is going to be whenever we our spirit or soul separates from our flesh and we go the way of our fathers, we die. Any belief in that is going to require faith. No matter what you think is going to happen, whether it is Valhalla or whether it is heaven, I just call it the eternity. Whoever is saying this or that about that is going to need faith. Many non-believers and atheists, people of this nature and this mindset would call our faith dogma. And the very word is off-putting to me. It feels like a jab or a dig of some sort. But the fact is that even if they claim to not choose and not believe and not care, it still takes faith. So, or a bit of dogma, I guess. I mean, if what's good for one is good enough for the other. Ultimately, we all have faith in a hope. So, how do we come by faith in a belief system? Getting to the point to where we can finish this notion out with unquestioning belief. Well, that happens for me by compounding evidence. It would be hard for someone to call my faith, my personal Christian belief, that when I die, I'm going to go before the great throne of God and be judged by Christ for my deeds in this world, whether they are good or evil, whether they have been good or evil. If I've tried to be pleasing to Him, or if I haven't cared or chose a different path. and I have, because I have a ton of evidence that has brought my belief to the condition it's in. I didn't just get told by my mom and dad whenever I was a little boy that Jesus loves me, and that was the end of it. I, like a dog, nodded and wagged my tail and believed that. That is nonsense, man. I have tested many things that's nearly killed me, coming to the simplest thing that I believe I've ever actually awoken to. When I actually attained my salvation and got the understanding of it that I needed to sell out and have faith in this thing. I went through a lot, definitely. So yeah, I'm not sure what would make anyone come to the terms of they have faith in the hope in men, that we are eventually going to come to the point where we get along so well that we will have world peace and free will. You see this conflict, that I can't buy into that. Not in our flesh condition. There is real evil in this world, and it disagrees with God and man and nature. until we overcome this thing. God made it clear in the story of Babel, the Tower of Babel, that we're not going to be able to dethrone him. He's not going to allow that. It's not in the evidence that men are going to attain immortality on our own. The evidence says otherwise. But it does not leave you hopeless. If I was left to think that I have to depend on, Lord have mercy, on men, I'm not going to mention any names. I'd love to. Sure I would, but I'm not going to. If I have to depend on any man to, even Elon Musk's a great man. He's got a brilliant mind. Tesla, brilliant mind, great man. Listen, we are still going to be living in a flesh body. It's still going to get hot, still going to get cold. It is still susceptible to the elements. Very limited. So I do not have faith in men. The evidence bear witness against them. This is not going to take very long. I guess I'm probably beating it in the ground right now, but I want Christians to be able to defend your faith. You got to be able to defend your faith and don't let people make fun of you. You don't have to. All they have is hope in anything they're believing to. So, and ultimately, if they go with that and the lusts of the flesh and indulge, what they're going to do is beat themselves up. They're only going to beat themselves up and probably hurt other people in the process, whether it be spiritually or terrestrially, or both. So there's my spiel on Dogma and the accusation that my faith is dogmatic. That is not true. That is not true. I did not decide to be a Christian just because my mom and dad told me to. That's a lie. And more evidence of men. Men are pretty good at manipulation and telling lies. Through Christ, all things are possible. We can attain faith and grace and hopefully make it back home. Back home. When you get saved, it's going to be more like a remembering than a new experience. So, feel that hole in your heart.